The next couple of days for us are going to be very busy. We are currently in New Jersey, visiting Colette's family. We just wrapped up a great family vacation, but it's time to go pick up the Airstream and hit the road. Bye-bye.
Okay, so we are about to board our flight from Newark, New Jersey to Denver, Colorado. And the crazy thing is, our final destination is right back here. And the crazy part is, we're not gonna be flying back here. We're gonna be driving back here. Ah, crazy, right?
Home, sweet home. It has been nearly 2 months since we have been in our Bambi, but finally we are back in the sexy silver Airstream. Feels good to be home. However, we are about to embark on a nearly 2,000-mile journey across the heartland of America. God, it's been a long time since we've been back. Well, it's nice that our friend has allowed us to park in her driveway. The bad thing is, there's not a ton of room, so we're kind of squished up against some bushes. So this is something that I haven't really talked to you about just yet. Now, when we started, we had a very simple sway bar hooked up to our truck. And while that does work, I have to say that after using this, which is the Kurt True Track weight distribution hitch, and I'll put some links on that, it's in our Amazon store, this thing is a lifesaver. The sway bar that we had initially, while technically it did what it was supposed to do, I can say that now that we've driven this, that thing was dangerous. We had too much sway, especially when going downhill. Colette didn't feel comfortable at times driving. I didn't feel comfortable at times driving. But now that we have this thing locks in the entire system, has the truck and the trailer together, and with wind going downhill, passing semis, we don't even notice the trailer is back there. This thing, while it's a little expensive, especially when you're starting out buying an Airstream and a truck and everything, it's a must. It will make you feel safe while you're driving. You'll have much less stress, and overall, just a better ride and a better experience when you're out RVing. So it's been nearly 2 months since we've emptied this tank. It is not going to be fun. Oh, that's a bad one. Oh. Good morning, everyone. It's been a long time since we've had our delicious coffee from our Rebel. Oh, God, I miss it. But yesterday, a bit of craziness. We decided to get an early start on our 2,000-mile journey. Picked up the Airstream, got some groceries, cleaned the tanks. Oh, they were disgusting. Oh. And got about an hour outside of Denver, which will make today's trip a little bit better because we're headed to... Where are we headed?
I'm going to Kansas City, baby.
Kansas City. We're going to do a little barbecue crawl through the Midwest. We're going to hit Kansas City, check out their ribs, and then we're going to check out St. Louis and maybe see who's better.
All the happy days
So thanks to your recommendations, we are about to go feast on some of the best barbecue in the entire United States. We're about to go to Joe's Barbecue right here in Kansas City. Now this place is set in a gas station. How quirky is that? So we're about to go feast on some of the best barbecue in all of Kansas City. Let's check it out.
So as you can see, this is the famous Joe's just outside Kansas City, and it is an actual working gas station. Well, it's like 2 pumps, so it's not a very big gas station. I think the barbecue has taken over the whole business. But we're about to experience one of the most famous types of barbecue, Kansas City barbecue. Let's go.
The pork Z-Man.
Pork Z-Man.
Gotta hydrate for all this meat.
Yeah, this is gonna be heavy. The time has finally come. Service was pretty quick. We got here a little after 11. You can tell that there's a early lunch crowd hitting this popular place. But they're known for the Z-Man, which is a sandwich. We went with the pulled pork variety of it. And then the guy also recommended the short stack, right?
Short end.
Short end of the ribs. So you have the long end and the short end. He said the short end, you don't get as much meat, but it's juicier and softer. He said it's overall better.
So you said that one.
That one, yes. But look at this. This is half a rack. Look at it. Size bigger than Colette's head.
And then you grab sauces too.
Got
Do
some
we know
sauces.
which ones these are? Okay, they do have
Night
names.
of the Living barbecue sauce. And just Joe's original, which
Gotta try the OG.
you gotta try the OG.
How many ribs did he say he sells
He
out
said
a day?
sandwiches. He
Oh,
said
sorry, sandwiches.
several hundred of these Z-Man sandwiches a day, and up to I thought he said up to 1,500 a day on the weekend. That's a lot of meat.
Oh, we will.
That's so good. The onion rings are a really nice touch.
What was that?
I said the onion rings. A really nice touch. It adds a crunch to it. Oh. Wow. That did not disappoint.
The crunch of the onion ring, the juice of the pulled pork. Oh my gosh, the pulled pork is so juicy. Oh, that is good barbecue.
So you might be wondering, why is Kansas City so famous for barbecue? Well, you got to go back to the 1920s when a man named Henry Perry started to cook barbecue right next to a streetcar barn. And his recipe became so famous that it basically became emulated across the entire city. And he is the whole reason, or at least the initial reason, that Kansas City became so famous for barbecue. Thank you, Henry.
Fun facts. Oh. They're sweet, they're tender, they're juicy. Some good ribs. And I've had a lot of ribs in my life. Look at that. Right off the bone. Now, I might dip this one in some barbecue sauce. Even though it is covered in barbecue sauce, your girl likes a lot of barbecue sauce. So I'm gonna sweeten it up even more. Get it on there, not on the, Yes, I like Joe's original barbecue sauce right on the rib. Add some extra flavor, some extra sweetness. I mean, it's just sugar, right? Tastes good.
Oh, this is perfect. Here's my judgment with ribs. It needs to fall off the bone in your mouth, but not on your plate. And they've done just that. So there's still just enough texture in the meat to stay on the bone. I eat it, but it's still very, very soft when you bite into it. Wow. But I noticed they're not over sauced. So
They're not.
Generally, Kansas City is a little less sauce. We're getting ready to go to St. Louis coming up. They tend to consume tons of sauce. So this, we're noticing not a lot of sauce. There is sauce, but just not a ton.
More focus on the meat.
This is definitely worth the stop. I love the characteristics of the gas station. Now, I haven't seen anyone actually pump gas, but they do function.
Ooh.
What's up?
We need gas.
We do need gas. Maybe we'll fill up.
Yeah.
All the happy days he gave me. Good
It's not comfortable.
We drove 4 hours, 5 hours?
4 hours.
4 hours from Kansas City to St. Louis, another barbecue hotspot. And now, a lot of you told us to come to Pappy's. Well, unfortunately, we came here
On the wrong day. We
the
came
wrong
here on
day.
a Tuesday, and Pappy's is not open on Tuesdays. Bummer.
But we came to one of their sisters or brother.
It's a cousin.
It's a cousin. We are at Bogart's Barbecue, which is a pop-up or a secondary shop underneath the same family of Pappy's. So we're still gonna get the same delicious barbecue. Let's go.
Let's dig in. Now we are going to do a proper side-by-side based on yesterday's order, which was a half rack of ribs and a pulled pork sandwich. So it's a proper side-by-side. Let's do this. What are we going to have first? Yesterday, we had the sandwich first.
I'll be honest. Tasting the pork, amazing. Their bun's like stale.
Oh no.
It's
That
not
doesn't
stale,
get me
so.
excited for this
I'm
bite.
sorry. I mean, the other sandwich was definitely a lot better. But the pork,
I would say the bun is not worth it.
the bun, you let us down.
Okay, so we got the ribs open, and I couldn't find a very clear answer on the difference between Kansas City and St. Louis style barbecue or ribs. But one of the things that they did say is that St. Louis tends to cut the tips off, which is the cartilage, and that was one of my complaints, was that Kansas City was kind of a little difficult to eat because of all the cartilage and whatnot that was in the ribs. So I'm hoping that these have had a little bit more TLC and are easier to eat. Ready?
Yeah, let's do it. Very peppery.
So these ribs are a lot easier to eat. You don't have the cartilage that's been kind of trimmed off. This is the typical baby back ribs that if you went to almost any other restaurant in the US, this is what you'd be used to. So I like this preparation. However, I think the flavor and maybe the juiciness or tenderness of the Kansas City might have been better. So
I agree.
it's kind of a bit of a trade-off. These are delicious, and I mean, we are being very critical.
Yes, and you can't go wrong on either one. Honestly, they're both delicious.
All right, overall, you have to choose one. What would you choose?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I would choose the pulled pork Z-Man from Kansas City, and I would choose these ribs from St. Louis. Boom. That was a hard decision. Whew.
Overall, best flavor when it comes to the ribs, Kansas City. I mean, it's just, these are amazing, fantastic ribs. Kansas City, there's just something special about them at Joe's. But if you're gonna go out on a date with that special someone and you wanna enjoy your meal a little bit more, this has a little bit better experience overall. Because Joe's, you kind of felt like you were missing a little bit because you couldn't get all the meat off because the cartilage was kind of blocking you somewhat.
So you're really digging in there.
Really digging in there.
We should do the barbecue trail more often.
We should.